Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming out at this hour. Before the main event comes down, as you can see, I'm surrounded here by the future at 135, the future at 154, and the future at heavyweight. So it really feels good as a promoter and a promotion company to see what these guys did tonight. Because when these matches were made by Bruce and Brad months ago, we said, you know, we got to test them because we're in New York, we're live on ESPN, and we tested all of them, and they all passed with flying colors. We couldn't be more proud of them, of what they do in the ring, what they do in training camp. These fights were the result of 8-week to 10-week training camps for all these guys. They just don't turn it on here. It's the work that nobody really sees that lets them do what they have to do. So a shout out to all of you guys. I'm really proud of you for bringing it home in great fashion. Couldn't be prouder of you. So we'll open it up for questions for any of the guys, and we'll go from there.
Keith Heidig from BoxingScene.com. Carl, happy 75th birthday. My first question is for Jared. Jared, did you expect Forrest to come out the way as aggressively as he did and come at you like that? And then when do you think he realized that that was a mistake?
No, I definitely didn't expect him to come out as aggressive that he did. To be honest, I thought he was going to lay back and try and survive as long as he could. But what he did, I want to say probably like the third right hand that I hit him with, that was when he realized, like, yeah, this ain't the right hands I've been getting hit with before, you know what I'm saying? So we adjusted. I think it was pretty good.
Did you get the sense that he was out on his feet there when the fight was stopped? He was slumped over?
I know for a fact. When you can look at a man's eyes, like, for sure, when I hit him, I seen something that it just was like, that's why I stepped back. If you look at it, I actually stepped back myself. I kind of seen it happen, so.
Congratulations, Jared. I just have one question for Keyshawn as well. Keyshawn, he's obviously a very tough, durable guy. He took a lot of flush punches tonight. Were you surprised that he was able to withstand that for all 8 rounds?
Yes, I was definitely surprised, but not too surprised because, you know, all the other people was hitting with flush shots. All the other opponents he faced, you know, was hitting with flush shots. And I actually see him one time actually get dizzy one time, and he got hit again and woke back up and started fighting again. I'm like, dang, so this dude was like a different level tough. Like, you know, some guys just don't go down. And I think that was him tonight.
James Bell of the Boxing Source. First question is for Xander. Xander, you know, in this bout that you had here, you had a whole lot of support and pretty much had like a rousing crowd once you were able to, you know, get in there and get in the ring. What was it like to have a lot of support here for this particular fight?
It was definitely amazing. I enjoyed every bit of it. You know, when I walked out and the crowd went crazy, it was amazing. I'm ready to make this my home in the future, ready to sell this place out and just keep winning and hopefully get title shots very soon.
Second question is for Jared, the real big baby. I know that you know, we're coming in there to show out against a tough opponent there in Jerry Forrest. And you were able to do that, you know, pretty much after the first round, you just turned it up. You know, what was it to like go into that second level after, you know, a little bit of, you know, a little choke or whatever it was in the first round, but you just said, you know what, I'm gonna bite down and I'm gonna grind them down in that second round.
I guess I'd say kind of knew it from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. I knew he is slugger, you know what I'm saying? And he was coming to fight. I knew he was tough. So honestly, when I first got hit, I was like, why did I even get hit with that? It was kind of weird for me, you know. Started off slow, all awkward, then got real fast when it got at the top. When his punches came to the top, that's when they got fast, you know what I'm saying? So I did get hit with some punches that I didn't expect to get hit with, but always, you know, that's how we train. We bite down and fight for it, so it just came naturally.
Gotcha. And last question is for Keyshawn. You were there against Juan Carlos Burgos, and then after about the first couple of rounds, it looked like you were having a lot of fun in there. You pretty much like seen every shot that he was throwing and just came back at him with a fast counter or just was, you know, really intent on the punches that you were throwing. What was it to like have that level of comfortability in there and to, you know, just go through those rounds and, you know, kind of like show your stuff?
Honestly, sparring, you know, Terrence Crawford, camp, sparring my brothers that stands over top of me. Kelvin and Keyshawn Davis, definitely prepare me for a fight like this. They're a lot faster, a lot smarter, a lot stronger than the guy I faced tonight. And just the experience that I have, fighting internationally and going to the Olympics and stuff like that, prepare me for a night like this. So really, I was comfortable in round one. After round one, I came back to the corner. I said, "Oh, he got nothing for me." And Coach Ray was like, "Yeah, you're right." So after round one, I already knew I had it in the bag, honestly. I was just trying to find a way where I could stop him.
And just as a side note, because we had 4 fights on TV live, Xander and Keyshawn are both 8-rounders because we had to, from a timing point of view. But if they were both 10-rounders, they each would have got the knockout because you could see both opponents ready to go the following round. And as a developing, what we do when we develop these guys, the rounds are the best thing you can get, and late round knockouts or TKO stoppages are even better. And you could see them coming in round 9 and 10. But, because they were 8 rounds, and television will take a hit because of that, but that's okay because you can't do 10 until you do 8, and they both did it. So now we know that. Jared is a different story because he's not in boxing, he's in heavyweight division. That's a whole different business. So that's what they want to see, and that's what he did. He trained for 10, he would have went 10 if he had to, but you know what, there's nothing better than a heavyweight knockout like that, and that's what you got.
Andres Gomez, Colombian Boxing. First of all, happy birthday, Carl. And my question is for Jared Anderson. You've been stepping up the competition. There's your 5th second-round stoppage in a row. How excited are you about your current momentum, and what would you like to do next?
Fight some bigger names. Fight the people in the top 15 at any sanctioning body. So, just keep the steam rolling, and hopefully you go fight at home. That's my next move, to try and get a fight at home. Sell out the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio. Yeah, show out.
Nice. So my last question for Carl, how soon can we expect to see Jared maybe fighting for a world title?
A world title?
Yes, sir.
Jeez.
Don't put the pressure on my man like that. It's his birthday.
Well, look, we know when all these, unlike other things that happen, we know when these 3 guys are going to fight again. We have a good idea of when. We're not sure who they're going to fight. The bad thing is when you get exposure like this and look like this, you have to force yourself up to be a mandatory, because I don't predict that our phone are going to ring Monday. Hey, I want to fight that guy Jared Anderson or Keyshawn. Get me Xander. Those calls don't really come in. So it's okay because they're young guys and it's a progression. So we know when they're fighting. We have a good idea of where they're going to fight. I don't know who that's going to be yet. We don't need to worry about that right now. Everybody can enjoy the holidays, but we know what's going to happen this year for these guys.
Jared, to Carl's point, what he just said, how difficult do you think it's going to be to forget champions, the contenders that are ranked in the top 15 who have a lot to lose with their rankings to fight?
I don't know, but like you said, y'all been seeing it since I started the interviews and things since I got here. I've been saying mandatory, because I know that's what's coming. People who watch me, who study me, or even see me coming, they know that I'm a problem and they got to deal with it. So, we gotta fight for it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's gonna end up becoming a mandatory. I'm ranked now. You see me getting belt out of the belt. They're gonna have to see it soon.
But there's a lot of guys in the top 15 that we put any of these guys with. So it's really, you have to entice them by the money, and that's okay. That's part of the business. So if they're going to take the risk with the ranking, you got to pay them. We're willing to pay the opponent. We know we got to pay these guys, but it's worth it to get there. So we'll figure that out.
Similar question to Keyshawn. How difficult do you expect it to be to get, the ranked lightweights, the contenders to fight you?
It should be fairly easy, If they want to fight, then we can make the fight happen. Especially 135. It's a lot of competition out there, and a young up-and-coming guy like me with only 7 fights, they should be scared to fight me, right?
Fight him now.
So fight me. It shouldn't be that hard.
John Tucker, no prospect. Happy birthday, Carl, first and foremost. Y'all did great tonight, man. Xander, great win tonight, bro. I think everybody know I didn't get to make weight tonight, 147, so I moved to 154, you feel me? Yo, man, you say you want to sell the garden now, baby? I'm New York, man. Me versus you feel me, man? 154, whenever.
This is all about growing, and you got a lot of room to grow.
Well, help me grow.
I won't help you grow. I will put you out of business, and I don't want to do that yet.
Hey, you want to start a garden now, man?
80 box of dudes, guys beware. My question is for Jared Anderson. After the spectacular win in the second round, devastating knockout, there's been some names thrown around, like Frank Sanchez. Would you entertain maybe possibly fighting Frank Sanchez in the future?
Without a doubt, I wouldn't have said his name for no reason. I've been in his DM, even in mine. So I don't know where that was coming from, but yeah, of course I wouldn't have said it. You know what I'm saying? If I wasn't willing for it, I've been asking for it. He told me wait till I'm ranked or until I get up there, but I'm in the top 15. You know, so I'm there. What's going on?
If you think Sandor Martin ran tonight, Frank Sanchez is the heavyweight version. It's like you can't make good fights with him. If he wants to do it, that's fine. But you know, I think it's unrealistic. But we'll try.
Just one more question for Xander. Great win. Now, in what round did you find out, like, placing those accurate body shots, did you see it was being effective?
That was the game plan from round one. We knew that he was softer body, and we needed to attack that area from the beginning. He was a bit uncomfortable with all the ducking and the grabbing, but we were trying to find a way to adjust and get back to that body as soon as possible, and every time we could.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. It's Maestro here in front. Carl, when I spoke to you a few months ago, there were plans for Jared to fight in the UK. It seems like a lot of the US heavyweight talent has been exhausted. Is the UK somewhere where you can see him getting tested by maybe one of the prospects out there?
No and yes. We'd love to fight abroad because heavyweights travel everywhere. There's plenty of European heavyweights that he could fight over there. We were on Sky Sports tonight over there, which gets him more exposure, and I'm sure he'd be a hit over there as well. But you know, he's in this position where we're not going to chase anybody. You know, we're sort of the A side right now. You know, and right now we kind of have a deal where we want to fight in the spring, and we definitely want to go to Toledo in the summer because we know that we'll pack the place. Yes. And there's nothing better than a hometown fight, whether it's Puerto Rico, Florida, Norfolk. You know, that's really where we want to get to these guys, and they're getting there sooner than later. But you know, for heavyweights in Europe, I get it. You know.
So my second question is more about Xander and Keyshawn. The ESPN platform is obviously a huge sports network here in the United States. Is that not something that's alluring to fighters that, you know, you've mentioned that your phone isn't ringing for opponents, but surely ESPN's a platform that young up-and-coming or even guys more on the way out would want to, you know, test themselves on.
Yeah, I'll tell you a true story that happened last year when we were trying to make a match. We made an opponent or a contender a very good offer to come fight one of our fighters, and we said, look, it's live on ESPN, and the manager literally said, great, my guy's going to get knocked down on ESPN and everyone's going to see it. So that's the other side of it too. If you've got, you know, what we're trying to get is fighters who really want to fight, because you shouldn't be punished if you take a risk and lose. So it's okay to lose, it's how you lose. If you lose in a great effort, then there's no reason why you wouldn't come back anywhere. You know, that happens all the time with guys within our stable without it. So yes, that would hopefully be an appeal, because unlike other things that are out there, you're actually seen when you fight on ESPN. When you're on some, I'm not going to but when you're on something that, if you go out on the streets of New York City and you ask them, hey, do you have this? They've never heard of it. So yes, it's great to be on ESPN because people are going to see you, and that's the advantage that these guys have.
Ready? Drop the mic.
Hey guys, congratulations all three of you guys. I have a question for Keyshawn and also for Xander. No offense, Jared. Keyshawn, I felt like when I was watching with Burgos that even though you were dominating and winning every single round, I kind of felt like you looked like you were maybe like having such an easy time with him that you were getting a little bored and that you really need to get a better level opponent. Is that how you feel about where you're, I mean, I know you're only now at 7-0, but do you feel like you need to tell your team, like, you guys got to get me a better guy because I'm just toying with these dudes?
I mean, I just feel like they've been trying. You know, like, you know, they're not going to go from 18-1 opponent to a world champion. You know what I'm saying? They put a guy in there that they felt like that probably could possibly give you some challenges. You know, and they probably really thought that he was going to give you some challenges. I thought that he was going to give you some challenges, you know, but it just showed, like, you know, how great I can be.
Did you feel a little bored in there?
Yeah, sometimes. Yes, I did. Like the first round, Red like, don't get sleepy in there, don't get sleepy. I'm like, Red, you right, because he is not really doing nothing, not showing me nothing. So yes, I did get kind of bored. That's why I started playing a little basketball. Started trying to get the crowd into it so I could get more into it. But you know, it was still a great fight at the end of the day. Great experience for me.
Yeah, with Burgos, we thought from round one he was going to put pressure on Keyshawn and be in his chest the whole night. And he tried, and he said, this isn't going to work. And you're not going to outbox him, and you're not going to outspeed him. So it really, you know, turned around a lot quick. But that's a credit to him, you know, because he negated his pressure. So now what we'll say in the offices, fine, get a guy that brings pressure to him. He knows how to handle pressure. Maybe the next fight is against a tall southpaw or a short southpaw that runs a little bit or something like that, because, you know, you're going to face him all the time. But we have to hold ourselves back a little bit, even though he doesn't want to, because he is still 7-0. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. He's a mature 7-0, but, you know, it's not like we're really running from anybody in the division either.
You know, my question for you, Xander, is it was very obvious in the middle of the fight, you know, you were making good action, and, you know, the crowd was going crazy for you. Obviously, you brought a lot of the Puerto Rican fans out tonight. Do you allow, I mean, if you keep winning, we all know this is going to be the case, but do you allow yourself to think that, you know, maybe like, let's say 2 years or so, you're going to be main event here. You're going to be on Puerto Rican Parade Weekend, and it's going to be even a bigger crowd for you. Do you allow yourself to think about that? Is that your goal?
Well, it's something that's in the back of your head, definitely. You want to make your people proud. You want to bring people in. You want to sell out arenas. But at the end of the day, we got to keep improving. We got to keep moving forward, keep winning fights, and that's going to come. So you just have to stay focused throughout your career and every fight.
Carl, is that the plan, let's say 2 years from now?
How old are you, 19?
20.
Oh man, you're old. You gotta get going fast. 20. Remember what 20 was like? He's 20.
Turned 60 today?
Yeah, he's 20. So he's 23. You're 23. You're gonna be around for a while. So, you know, it's not getting there. It's once you get there, you want to stay there. And it's not challenging for a world title. It's winning the world title, because that's really where you make the money. So we want, when these guys fight for the world title, they're going to be ready to fight for it and win it, because that's the whole difference right there. But nowadays, anybody can fight for a world title.
But I was talking about Puerto Rico in particular, the Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I
been a
mean,
big deal.
we've been down this road a lot, you know, with a lot of different guys and a lot of different reasons. But because he's 20 years old, because of what we see outside the ring, the work ethic, his team around him with Peter and his trainers, that part we never have to worry about. And that's a big relief for us. And each time he fights in New York or Florida or something like that, it's going to grow and grow and grow.
All right, so thank you, Xander, Keyshawn, and Jared. Teofimo Lopez will be down momentarily, so press, stay patient, and Tio will be right down. Thank you, Xander.